أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. The prayer. This is what they taught of prayer. You pray in your distress and in your need, that you might pray also in the fullness of your joy and in your days of abundance. For what is prayer but the expansion of yourself into the living ether? And if it is for your comfort to pour your darkness unto space, it is also for your delight to pour forth the drawing of your heart. And if you cannot but weep when your soul summons you unto prayer, she should spur you again and yet again through weeping until you shall come laughing. When you pray, you rise to meet in the air those who are praying at that very hour, and whom save in prayer you may not meet. Therefore, let your visit to the masjid be invisible, for naught but ecstasy and sweet communion. For if you should enter the masjid for no other purpose than asking, you shall not receive. And if you should enter into it to humble yourself, you shall not be lifted. Or even if you should enter into it to beg for the good of others, you shall not be heard. It is enough that you enter the temple invisible. I cannot teach you how to pray in words. Listen to the messages of Anu from the album. To your words save when He himself utters them through your lips. And I cannot teach you the prayer of Yam, meaning the seas and the forests and mountains. But you who are born of the mountains and the forest and the Yam can find their prayer in which are thine into days, which are thine also. We cannot ask you for aught. For those knowest our needs before they are born in us. You are our need. And in giving us more of thyself, thou givest us all. But those who know pray this prayer. Our Heavenly Father, for you are of the all, and you are in the all, and all is in you. You're head of the 300 Ijiji, of those Anunnaki who are still in the skies. O most holy, your name is found amongst the holy ones, the Anunnaki of the heavens. For you were to name all the things that were brought into existence. Blessed is your name. Nothing and no one can give you a name, for your name is of the all. You have been appointed anew. Oh, anew. Your kingdom will come, and what you will and ask of us will be done on earth. Timat. Just as things are done in the heavenly skies, amongst the Anunnaki, we ask you to please give us the breath of life each day where we rise, and we will procreate as you wish. And we will procreate as you wish. And forgive us if we are disagree, and we forgive those who disagree with us. And protect us from the evil ones and their temptations, for you are the ruler of all kingdoms, and all power is yours. All the glory forever and ever. And we know you have appointed one of the Yahwehians, your own grandson, Adonai, Tammuz, as our shepherd, and we have all that we need. As you are the Anunnaki, declare, verily we have given you all the abundance. So pray unto your sustainer and offer. Verily your enemy shall be the one cut off. His seed will be cut off after 6,000 years from the most holy day. Let us rest in the outer fields of green grass and leads us to the quiet pools of fresh water. He gives us new strength. He guides us in the right path as He has promised. Even if we go through the deepest fears of death, we will not be afraid because we know that you are with us. Your flails, rod, and your wasp protects us from disagreeableness. You prepare a table for us where all our enemies can see you welcome us as an honored guest among your ship and fill our cups to the brim. We know that your goodness and love shall be with us all of our lives, and your house will be our house as long as we exist. Behema, the human beast. Page 67, 567. Break in pieces the brazen serpent that Moses had made. For until those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it, and he called it Nehushtan. Along with the word serpent, you find the word fiery, Arabic fiery serpent, Hebrew fiery serpent. The Hebrew word seraph, is the general name for a poisonous snake whose poison sore burns the body. Seraph means burning, scorching, stinging. The Arabic word for serpent, which comes from the word to flow forth, or as applied to water and to blood, flowing, running, or streaming, is a kind of long serpent. A great serpent, it also refers to the male and female. These words refer to the red, resinous, thick juice called dragon's blood. It is extracted resin from different plants used to stop bleeding. Gazelle, the first fifth of the rising sun. Brazil, wood. Canas is the prince of the world. And he is alive, and is commonly referred to as the angel of light and the prince of darkness. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostle of the Messiah. No marvel, for Shaitan himself, therefore it is no great thing. The self-proclaimed apostle Bulus inscribed 2 Corinthians, the 11th degree, 13 through 15 verse. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Going about on all fours, he was compelled to take his food from the dust of the earth, the seed of Adamites. His destiny ordained that he took abode in caves, cavemen, and be like the ape man. This was Canaan's curse for prompting the fall of women in the enclosed garden. And then the ultimate words were found in the scripture of Genesis that was given to our noble servant Moshe, who was taken about Canaan. When we look up the word for seed in the Aramaic Hebrew word, we find Zara, Hebrew translated meaning to sow, to disseminate prosperity. This can be nothing more than the actual planting of a physical seed, or as the Greek version of their Bible has it, sperma, meaning seed, which is actually seeming or sperm. The enmity between that which is secular and that which is spiritual. The seed sown by Kenaz was the sensuous, lustful seed of the woman, which was to be the form of a person. That person was Ham. When that seed was rightfully placed, he brought forth his race down on all fours, men acting like beasts and then upright. The Canaanite seed of Ham, were civilized. They tried to have their way, for it was recorded that he said, I will take the heights of the heavens. In his estate he shall stand up a bizarre, a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he, Kanaz shall come in peace and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. Tablet 7. The seventh state. Lo, all these from the midst of the believers, seven tablets of the Ima Elish. While in the seventh state of slumber, thinking on this, being his body works on seven organs, his being works on seven principles, seven seasons, seven periods of time, seven stages of purification, of which it should only become if it's purified as upright. His body work corresponding to seven mental metals, as the brain, Afusu the sun, as the heart, the moon, as the lungs, Mercury, as the liver, Jupiter, as the kidneys, Venus, as the gallbladder, Mars, as the genitals, Saturn. The seven life possesses visualize everything and pulsates through 10 to 12 senses. They are breathing, 1, warming, 2, nutrition, 3, secretion, 4, conservation, conservation, 5, growth, 6, reproduction, 7, in the embryonic stage, which is development of the human being. The life body comes into play after 7 weeks. The soul body takes hold of it in or about 7 months. After the 7th year, the second calcium appears and the second set of teeth. After 14 years, puberty occurs in or about this period of time. That's 7 to 7s. At 21, he becomes of age and overstands time. That's 3 7s. In and near 28, he begins to cease to lengthen in or at 35 midway of life's time. Now he arrives at his physical prime. That's 7 5 sevens, like Earth. 7 times 7 equals 49. 1 equals 1,000. 7 equals 7,000. 7 times 7 equals 49,000. It's O. It is but the size of a mustard seed in our eyes. Physical body, life body, soul body, ego principle. Principle ever rising from ignorance to knowledge. Guiding hands stretched forth, willing to teach the lost pilgrim to walk the filament of those on the other side. Think past, and before all this, and you will be with the Creator, Anu, the Most High. All things great and small, revealed and hidden here now and are destined to happen in real, and it is made known. Then and then is always now. Think, freeze and cold as no sting. Think, burn and hot becomes a companion. Think, truth and the lie cannot prevail over thee. Think, the spreader, Anu, Elohim, Elohim, Al, and the gates of your soul are locked from Shaitan. O you beseecher of nothing, wanter of much of nothing, fall on your face, prostrate to the dust. From whence you were taken, pour out your heart in the hands of the loving. Purify yourself in these facts beyond any doubt, which is truth. The true word, this holy tablet, was sent to you, and you can't fall. Seven o'clock on my alarm. Traverse all paths. See through someone else's eyes. Reveal yourself. Make things happen. Make it come true. Let yourself fantasize. Hatch a conspiracy. Go out in public. Go off the leash. Give back. Find a target you want to aim at. Don't wait for permission. Change your sheets. Ask the question. Are you wanting to press fast forward? Are you trying to please everybody? Are you trying to be everything to everyone? Are you sitting on the fence? Are you looking for validation? Are you looking for spiritual and intellectual connection? Are you looking for some fun? Are you looking for authentic relations? Are you looking for acknowledgement? Are you looking for a long distance crush? Are you agreeing to avoid agreement? But there is no doubt found therein, thinking from the heart of He who is in whose hands we place our final scriptures, Al Garoon, to the seed of Admand. He accepted in faith only three kinds of beings supernatural in his words: one angelic being of light, two demons in the flesh, three jinns of fire. By no means did he by his own words know where to draw the line. Often we have assumed one to be a man, when in reality he is a demon. Hearing from his lips to practice words without words, nothing creates except Allah, 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 La ilah, Allah. Ever so well did they listen at the gates, did they listen for their words to mislead man thereby. Walking in the midst of man without flesh color, eyes blue, hair yellow, made manifest that you may know the cursed seed of Canaan and albinoism, or the grafted seed, the halal beans, flugel rods, or hulub of Yakub, from the original Nubian Hittites, Ethiopian Cushites, the Melanites. So you have Caucasoid and Negroid demons and devils in human form. We created our first successor, Najua Kudman, after the burning of this planet. From the carbon after the burning he had stopped, and all that remained was rich black mud. So we fashioned him of this black mud into shape, breathing the breath of divine life, Kayim, the ever-living pure life that he made, may become a living soul. The better class of angelic beings, concerning whose pedigree there is no doubt. They spend their whole time in praise of Allah. 7:08 p.m. on my alarm. Are you looking to compromise? Their foods consist of repetition of the words, "Glory be to you, Allah." Their drinks, "Allah is holy." We sent Ahmad to you. You call him Muhammad, a clear sign. Descendant of Abraham, Imam of all my nations. The galactical heavens cracked asunder, and it cannot be cracked. For there is not a hand's breadth of space to be found there without an Anunnaki bending or prostrating himself or herself before Anu. The four seat barriers are in the form of man, bull, eagle, and lion. The first of humanity, intercessors before the Adani Master. The second, supplication on behalf of domestic creatures. The third, controls the birds of the air. The fourth, tamer of the wild beasts. Also therein find 24 as the hours in a day, and the four wind holders at the four corners of his throne. The forementioned will be the last to die at the end of the world. Gabriel being the one by leave take flesh to plant his holy seed in a mother chosen above ladies of the world. Daughter by Imran and Hanaz, two of our most loved servants, reared by Zachariah and Elizabeth, loved in our eyes. Gabriel, bringer of our words, his special assignment to manifest before the prophets with the messages of Anu, each time in a new disguise, formed because he is so awe-inspiring that the physical mind of mortals confronted by. Page 570. would be unable to concentrate on his words. Or Ahmad, remember once you entreated him to reveal himself as he really is. He consented to do so. When your weary eyes, O seal he who bears of the great prophets of Adam's seed, saw his immense wings covering the whole of the galactical heavens. He could fly in his craft, a great and large craft. Oxygen removed itself from your brain, and you did rest into slumber. He passed out, asked to make known all his powers. He informed you. O Ahmad, on my wings, my two wings, I bore the countries of the people of Lot. Two crafts visit Sodom and Gomorrah. It carried up into the air so high that its inhabitants could no longer hear their cocks crow. The crabs abducted people. Then turned it upside down. I haven't no less than 1,600 wings, throwing time gate to another dimension. Colored consonants as green of the greenest olives. Hair ebony black, 9 either, as thick as the lamb's wool. Eyes as the flames of the fire piercing directly into the hearts of the unfaithful, and ridding it of any blemish. A description of Gabriel, a star shining, having 7 points from mine eyes, is how the craft looked. A moon and stars are deep out in space, set in the universe as the darkness of the shadow hours, as it took off for Orion. I plunged into the Yamun sea of light 360 times every day, and upon my wings I 1,000,000 drop, which become spiritual messages, bearing peace and perfume. His craft docks beneath the seas of earth many, many times. He said, I, Marduk, Michael, also taking the form of time, ever so gentle a speech, father of the heavenly host, as an old man, illuminating the chlorophyll, crystal green light that gives vitality to all living things 360 times and more. Provided all forms of food for the body, all forms of knowledge for the mind, ruler of the forces of nature called by some Father Time, shedding daily 1,000 tears from each eye, each precious drop giving birth to Garabat. 7:16 p.m. on my alarm, take a risk. As out of my love I teach the truth. Disagreeable are changed to agreeable. They take charge of every plant and every tree and every drop of water. Don't seek him, for you are of the worthy, and he has already come to you. I am here. Enki, also known as Azrael, angel of death, whose hands gathered the mud and then shaped a shell for Kadmon's spirit. Anu created his essence, hidden for no less time than 1,000 years. That is one day of on earth. But at last he showed his handiwork before all the Anunnaki Elohim. Behold him, and fulfilling his assignment, they all felt faint that lasted not less than 1,000 years, being so immersed that he is everywhere at once. Yet Anu, so mighty that his light is less than a dot in the corner, in the center of his hand, and he cannot execute the degrees inscribed upon you without knowing. O well-guarded Lahuat, Shil Masuri, tablets of destiny, without permission from Anu, who does not grant this until the leaf with each person's name and tone, written from the land, from the hand of the same, from Al Luhua Shil Masuri, the tablets of destiny. During the complete shadow hour, calling for no less than 100 prostrations on the powerful and illustrious shadow hour, fall from the sacred tree standing by the throne, each soul's destiny known alone by Ezra Al. In the month selected Shaban, called Al Nisfu, being Shaban, the 8th month, Shaban, directly precedes Ramadan. During this month, you are to prepare yourself for the upcoming fast. Approximately 2 weeks before the first day of Ramadan, you are to spend your shadow hour in Salat. This special shadow hour is called an Nisfu min Shaban. This is how we practice it while in the school of Muhammadans. The third school, 100 prostration, is completed by the believer in his devotion of his creator in Din al-Islam or Milat Ibrahim or Din al-Allah. And this is bow. how this event was commemorated in the third school of Nuwabu called Muhammadism. Midway in the 8th month of Shaban under your new calendar in the 15th shadow hour of Shaban, all the children of the Allahum gather at their prospective temples or at the central. There is a spiritual lecture on the above subject followed by not less than 100 prostration of prayer. The continuation of the shadow hours is in a state of awokenness. Children under the age of 13, those pregnant and those ill may sleep, but those of sound mind and healthy body should spend complete shadow hours awake. And when dawn comes, chant hymns of praise together. Ani as we lu shahudak loi shay you sofa kaun is a alalam kalu zi hu izu wahid wahu lo sharat ru karat e and who. It's much better pronounced, trust me. Beautiful tone. In English, I bear witness that nothing would exist if Allah didn't create it. He is alone, no partners has He. I bear witness that all the apostles are apostles of Allah. O Allah and His messengers, surely you are generous, merciful. You like to pardon. Excuse from me. This Zakruan and Dua should be recited as many times as one can during the 15th shadow hour of Shaban. This confers many blessings on its reciter. Breakfast should be enjoyed together. There's no exchange of gifts, and it is not compulsory to the point of being a sin. Families return home and pray together on behalf of all they know in hopes that their leaf hasn't fallen from this year and that they will have a healthy and prosperous life throughout this year. Thus ends the commemoration of Nash Min Shaban. Page 572. Israel's presence reveals that he has four faces, sees and visits north, east, south, and west. One head east, consequently the three remaining are placed severely on his chest, back, and feet, north, south, and west. The first face is reserved for the regard of the Anunnaki, Allahum, and the great teachers east. The second face is for the faithful, with the brightness of it as Asu, the sun as it appears looking from Tiamat, the planet Earth, west. The third face is for the unfaithful ones burnt black with the fire of their destiny, darker than the darkest solar eclipse, north. The fourth face for the jinns, red and yellow, as the flames of the fire south. He, Israel, also having 70,000 feet, foot soldiers, 4,000 wings, crafts, and an eye for each person that ever has, ever will be begotten unto this world. Records on all born, ever full of tears for those that die not with peace. For when each being dies, the very angel closes an eye. Certain great teachers being given the power by Anu, so that it only be a wink and then open again. One such being Yeshua and Lazarus, brother of Mary of Magdalene and Martha. But even at the end of this world's time, Enki Azrael will not be blinded. It will end while some men will still be alive, and others dying swiftly, and even others not yet born. At the end's end, there will be 4 arch Anunnakis, and the 4 throne bearers see upon him still 8 eyes open. Faithful being gathered in pure white raiment, scented of musk and rose and myrrh, transported in that manner to the heights of the heavens. Yet, O you coverers of this truth, never will we surrender to your weakness and your unbeliefs. You shall be all about, tarred, ragged, and cast into the depths of your dreams, yet you shall never be fulfilled, burning perpetually. Israfel standing every point in time with a shofar, trumpet to his gaze, fixed to Anu's face, ever waiting to sound the trumpet of woes, the 7 thunders, the call of doom. For that moment which our Creator, the first, was here at the beginning, and will be here again at the end, the last, the opener. He began this time cycle, and the closer he will end this time cycle, when Anu gives him the nod to ascend and let those the first blast. The blast of Torah will extract life from everything on earth and in the galactical heavens except the 4 archer Anunnaki and the throne bearers. Yet the arch Anunnaki will pass through a black hole at a time, in their assigned order coming to earth. Gabriel being first, Azrael being last, and after 40 years, the angel of death will rise to blow a second woe, a blast that will ring the bell of his trumpet, numerous as the grains of sand that fly before the wind storms of the desert. Through 6,000 years of souls plus 6,000, all that have lived and passed will fly to their bodies, for this is the blast, the day of resurrection. After Enki has completed his work, the human beings' bodies lie lonely in the tomb, ever listening mournfully to the retreating footsteps of his friends. 2 unpleasant angelic beings called Munkar, one of the 200 that fell of their own will. The second called Nakir, heading also one of the 200 Anunnakis, accompanying Haliel from the planet Titan of their own will. I identifiable by bodies burnt black from Saturn's heat and eyes blue from Shaitan's. These two souls shall come and sit by each being's side, tormenting his peace in an unlit grave, questioning his faith. Silence of the universe cracked with questions. What do you say of Ahmad? In a very beguiling manner. The past men left alone and cold in the dark sepulchre is glad of a little friendly converse. Truthfully, either I bear witness that Ahmad is the servant and messenger of Allah, in which case the ignorance turns to knowledge and the cold to warmth. The comfort and his loneliness is quenched by the presence of the other faithful. But woe to the man whose answer is, I never knew that man. Or I simply repeated concerning him what I heard from the others, never once letting it enter my heart, thus bearing witness of himself that he's a false believer.